The Atlantis of the Persian Gulf was buried under billions of tons of dark water. The shadows breathed a sigh of relief, thinking they had forever erased Earth's memory and humanity's most dangerous weapon, consciousness. But amidst the terrifying howl of the storm and the black waves devouring everything, 12 shadows ran through the mud and the dead of night, heading toward the highlands of the Iranian plateau. They were the 12 companions of Mithra, the ancient Magi. Engineers who pulled the cosmos's most vital asset out from the heart of the flood, the awakening source codes. Codes that, if they fell into the hands of the system, would lock human DNA in the matrix forever, and we would remain slaves for eternity. Welcome back to Project Awakening. Today we travel back 11,000 years to the day the Magi decided to build the largest and most mysterious underground vault in history to preserve this cosmic knowledge. The ancient city of Jiroft. The Magi knew that in the new post-flood world, scrolls would rot, metals would rust, and optical crystals would go dark without the main grid. To preserve the genetic codes for millennia, they needed Earth's most resilient material, something capable of holding frequency within itself: stone. Deep in the lush and mysterious valley of the Halil River, modern-day Jiroft, they began constructing ancient hard drives, vessels, and tablets made of chlorite stone. Today's academic archaeologists and system historians will tell you these are merely decorative carvings of eagles, snakes, scorpions, and humans. Just another naive deception to divert our minds. These geometric lines on the stones of Jiroft were not art. They were ancient binary codes, a stone programming language based on sound resonance. The Magi engraved the frequency of consciousness onto these stones and buried them deep within the Earth's layers. Jiroft became Earth's stone data center, a dormant hard drive meant to hibernate for 11,000 years, waiting for the day human frequency would rise high enough to decode them again. But in this dark matrix, no data center survives without a firewall and security guard. Sooner or later, the shadows scanning the Earth would realize the codes had been smuggled out. To protect Jiroft, the Magi established a top-secret military garrison 1,100 kilometers away in the bone-chilling cold of modern-day Meshkin Shahre, Shahre Yeri, the city of Yeri. If you visit the Yeri region today, you will face a chilling and terrifying sight. 537 massive standing stones. They all have human faces and wear swords at their waists, but none of them have mouths. Official history claims these are symbols of silent worshippers, but the truth is infinitely darker, more violent, and ruthless. These are not statues. They were the silent guardians, the most elite and loyal warriors of the Mithra network, who voluntarily underwent a horrific frequency surgery. Their vocal cords were completely burned away using focused acoustic technology, so they would lose the ability to speak forever. Why? Because if they were captured by the reptilians in future battles, no amount of torture would ever force a single word about the location of the Jiroft data center from their mouths. They drew their swords and stood in deadly silence for thousands of years, ensuring the secret of human awakening would never be leaked. For millennia, this data center was in absolute slumber. Its security guard, the mute sword-bearing sentinels of Shahre Yeri, 1,100 kilometers away, with their vocal cords burned, stood in deadly silence, so no one would find the location of this vault. But the Magi's plan was flawless. In the year 2001, nature executed its mission. A massive, devastating flood swept through the Halil River in Jiroft. This flood was not a natural disaster. It was Earth's awakening system, washing away tons of dirt to bring history's greatest secret back to the surface. Suddenly, thousands of strange chlorite stones covered in geometric lines, snakes, scorpions, and complex architecture burst forth from the mud. Earth's stone data center had finally been opened. What was the reaction of the system and the shadows? They panicked. They acted swiftly, gathering these stones and locking them behind the glass cases of museums worldwide. The system's salaried archaeologists told us these are merely decorative vessels and the handiwork of ancient peoples. A blatant lie. These are not bowls for food and water. They are ancient binary codes, a language of sound resonance that today's system is terrified of being read. The sacrifice of the mute guard of Yekri and the data center of Jiroft preserved the source codes. The source codes emerged from beneath the dirt, but the shadows, despairing of physically finding the codes, adopted a dirtier, psychological strategy. To neutralize them, they injected the virus of forgetting into Earth's atmosphere and unleashed it upon humanity. By continuously transmitting dark electromagnetic static into the atmosphere, they made humans forget themselves, the power of the God within them, and the true history of this planet. Human brains were shutting down under this heavy static. The surviving Magi realized that merely hiding the codes underground was not enough. They knew that to break this static, they needed massive telecommunication towers to broadcast the awakening signal across the Earth once again. They needed antennas to pierce through the shadow's static and connect directly to higher dimensions and the stars. In the next video, we go to Tepes Sialk, the first consciousness-transmitting antenna raised above the Iranian plateau, where the frequency war enters a new phase. History is written by the victors, but we awaken the truth. Welcome to the real world, uncensored and undistorted.